Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest public service watch announcement channel. Unbelievable but true. What these Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market dealers won't dare to tell you, Sweet Kid Kino will tell you. Not me. I'm just a voice. Everything that I say here, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know this. I cannot take credit for it. The one that has all the credit here is no other than Sweet Kid Kino to me, Joaquin to you. Okay? Just to let you know, I am just a voice. And we have a couple of things that we would like to share with you guys today. And one of the things that we want to share with you guys is this, ladies and gentlemen. And this is something that Sweet Kid Kino has contacts all over the United States and overseas, somewhere. He's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. As we told you, that last week, one of the employers of Deputy Droopy Boxing Black Eyes, got let go. We're talking about the gentleman by the name of the Amish honey bun maker. And we talked to you about that. We've been telling you that things are not as the way they're describing to you by those flim flammers, those flim flammers. Deputy Droopy Boxer Black Eyes. He's walking around the whole day with big black eyes and, and telling you that things are up and running and they're groovy and they're unbelievable. But we know it's all a sketch to continue getting you taken. But we have some more information on behalf of Mr. Joaquin. Unbelievable. You're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this was the channel that started doing live podcasts, Podcasts. ¿Cómo es el podcast, verdad? P-O-B, pop, podcast or P-O-D, pod? How do you spell that? Podcast or podcast, Anyway, that gentleman was doing a podcast and he was out there, telling you, that he needed to do this so he can, get his employees a bonus, Unbelievable. And you guys, a lot of people were helping out this Deputy Droopy Boxing Black Eyes, they're helping him out. But ladies and gentlemen, it has come to our attention that this week that just came, just went by, Valentine's, the Valentine's that just went by. Uh, Two more workers were taken to the guillotine. You know what the guillotine is? You know what the guillotine is? They took them to the guillotine, and two more were dropped. Two more were dropped, were let go, The company that's worth $150 million a year, and they're going to take it to $300 million a year, have taken two more. Not the Frenchy guy, not the Frenchy. Not the Frenchy guy, unbelievable. They took two more to the guillotine y le llevaron la cabeza. ¿Tú entendiste? The head was gone, The head was gone. Unbelievable but true, ladies and gentlemen. So we're talking about, Deputy Droopy, Boxing Black Eyes, and his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket, with the Chia Pet spray can hair, These people have been fleecing you for too long. You know it's true, Damon. You know it's true. You are a very smart man. You're a man of life, of wealth of life, It's unbelievable. You guys cannot continue being misogynous. You cannot continue being misogynous, and you cannot continue being obedient slaves to this gentleman, the original Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channel and dealer. Thank you very much, Wicked. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Te mandaron dos cocos, papá. Dos cocos te mandaron. El señor Wicked. El señor Wicked te mandó dos cocos. Dos coquitos. You cannot continue maintaining these people's lifestyle. These people are hurting to the T. They're hurting. They're done. Two more employees were taken to the guillotine and took it off. They took off their heads. So I'm letting you know so you guys don't continue falling as victims to these people. These people, ladies and gentlemen, these people see us Moshiganas. Do you know what Moshigano is? Because if you don't know what the word Moshigano is, you Google it. You Google it. They see you as Moshiganas. And being Sweet Kid Kino here to always tell you the truth and what's happening out there with these flim flammers, these hoodwinks. These people, la situación está jodida, muchacho. The situation, I told you that Friday was Valentine's Day and the next day was Saturday, the 15th of February. La situación está jodida. Nobody's buying watches, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody is buying watches. I'm going to give you something that you should know. I was watching a watch by Tudor in an auction. As a matter of fact, in 3 auctions. And they had this Flamingo Chrono going on for sale. One pulled it out because he couldn't sell it for the number he was looking for. The other one was trying to flim flam people with the auction. And ladies and gentlemen, it's like 20 minutes left to this auction to finish. And if anybody guesses where that Tudor Chrono Flamingo price is at right now, I will pull Kino and show you his face. If somebody can put right now what number, and they're struggling with this number. Okay, look for the number. If anybody knows the number, you're gonna like, this is, you know how much, Wicked? Tell me. Go ahead, Wicked. Go ahead. No, you're wrong. But anyway, let's just save it for later on then, because you people are still giving away money to these flim flammers. You know, you guys have been awakened by Sweet Kid Kino. He has awakened the masses. We have awakened the masses, ladies and gentlemen. Our show has gone international. There's people out there that are trying to imitate us. You know, using words like dropping, you know, drop, using Kino as a sidekick. You know, there's only one Kino, and he's right there. It's unbelievable, that Sweet Kid Kino. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I advise you to hold on to your money. You're going to be able to buy and cherry pick the watch you want. La situación está jodida, papi. No flim flamming here, Tress. You know how it is. That's right. You know how it is. You keep on buying the cuckoo clock. That's how they see you. You said it, a cuckoo clock. That's why they call you Moshigana. That's why they keep on calling you guys Moshiganas. I mean, you do whatever you want, but I'm telling you, that company that was begging for your guys, you know, for you guys to send them thank you, whatever it was, and Snapchat, Super Chats, whatever it was, that guy took 2 more employees to the guillotine and he said, a channel. You understand me? I know what I'm telling you. Deputy Droopy, boxing black eyes, his eyes are getting swollen by the day. Omatomas. You know what omatomas are? You know what omatoma is? I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you either. Let me buckle my shirt. I don't like to be showing, you know, my chest. I don't like that kind of stuff, you know. But you guys, I gotta keep on, you know, helping you guys out. Ustedes no pueden estar en la pobreza. Ustedes no pueden seguir de lambones. Ustedes no pueden seguir de lambones mientras yo esté aquí. While I am here, you guys are not going to be lambones. You guys, because we're going to tell you always the truth and what's happening. What they won't dare to tell you, we will, because we are, me and Sweet Kid Kino to me, Joaquin to you, we are stupid like that. Somos lambones. Ustedes son lambones y cucarachas. You got to stop being monkeys. I know what I'm telling you. This is coming to an end. This is coming. I almost got it already. I almost got the watch market level there. Okay, guys? And you got to thank always, not me, Sweet Kid Kino. quiero mucho, Kino, ¿verdad? It's unbelievable, that sweet kid, Kino. Te quiero mucho, papá. Kino's unbelievable. I'm telling you. But remember what I told you. You saw what happened to the Cuervo and the Eagle. You don't want to be a Cuervo. You cannot continue being Cuervos. They will take you. The Eagle will take you for a ride. I know what I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something that my father taught me in a very young age. Thank you very much, Damon. Thank you very much. Damon te mandó 5 cocos. Te mandó 5 cocos, Damon. Ese Damon es una jodienda, brother. Damon se la sabe toda. Un tipo. Damon es internacional. Él es internacional. Damon is international. I know what I'm telling you. But ladies and gentlemen, my father, because you guys believe and trust many people out there. And that's fine that you trust many people out there. But my father told me this once. He says to me, son, it takes years to build trust. Come on, listen to me, guys. My dad told me, my father's no longer here. He's up there, con Papa Dios, with the Almighty. But he taught me many things. He says to me, son, in Spanish. He told me in Spanish, but I'm going to tell you guys in English. He says to me, Juan Felipe, that's my name, Juan Felipe. Juan Felipe, it takes years to build trust. And he told me, did you hear that? It takes years to build trust. And I said yes to him. And he says to me, and it takes seconds to lose it. You understand me? It takes seconds to lose trust. It takes years to build it and just seconds to lose it. You understand? And these people, this gentleman, Deputy Droopy, Boxing Black Eyes, has lost the trust of all of you. When he first started hanging out with the gentleman with the sweat-stained hat, with the jumbo whiteout ears, small feet, small little hands, skin-tight leotard jeans, 4 feet, 9 inches, he lost it. He lost it. I'm talking about Deputy Droopy, Boxing Black Eyes, the gentleman that bought the pair of sneakers of the President of the United States, I think for $10,000. Let me say something to you, ladies and gentlemen, because I say good or bad. Well, if it's good, I'm going to say I think that was a good investment when he bought those sneakers for $10,000. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But he has lost all the trust of all the watch collectors out there. He became a flim-flammer. Thank you very much, Suso. Suso te mandó como $800. Suso, el mismo Suso. Que yo creo que el dinero es un dinero fuerte, un dinero, eso de millonario, un dinero muy fuerte. Thank you very much, Suso. Dile gracias. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So you know what I'm trying to tell you. Don't ever forget. Don't ever forget. It takes years to build trust and just seconds to lose it. I'm just telling you what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So we got that. We pretty much cover that, the territory of this gentleman, Deputy Droopy, Boxing Black Eyes. He's walking around the streets like a zombie with dark eyes, They're getting darker and puffier. I'm not wishing nothing bad upon him. I'm not that kind of a soul. I only wish good things. Even if you're not a good person. Aunque tú no seas bueno, que sea una rata. A lo mejor una gonorrea. ¿Tú entiendes? Una rata. You know what a rat is? You know what a rat is. Una rata. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go to a different topic. We have a couple of our subscribers that do like to buy watches to flip them and make a couple of coins. And they've been asking about this for the longest already. Can you at least tell us what you believe? And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what I believe. And Sweet Kid, we did it together, where we believe that, some of these watches have some meat left on the bone. I repeat, some of these watches have meat left in the bone, and some of them have some hefty money left En la vaca, en la vaca. You know what a vaca is? Vaca? Moo, moo, en la vaca. I'm not going to tell you, you Google it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But it goes moo, moo. It has a lot of meat there. But same dog with no exactly. That's right, Damon. But I'm going to tell you these watches that I believe have some meat left, and maybe even the meat it has left, maybe it's not even worthwhile of you getting the watch. And I'm going to tell you the watches. Here they are. Okay? The Rolex watches that I believe have some meat left in the bone. The first watch is the Rolex subs. The subs. We're going to be talking about the Rolex green bezel with a black dial 41 millimeter. It has, tiene carne, tiene un poquito de carne. It has a little bit of meat, has a little meat. So 41 millimeter has a little meat. And also the Rolex Submariner 41 millimeter date, black ceramic bezel, black dial, has a little bit of meat left. When you pay taxes and this and that, and then you flip it to the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market, you might end up just, basically, just changing money. That's all. All right? There they are. That's what I believe from the subs. You do whatever you want. I'm only telling you what I believe. You do whatever you want. Now, on the Rolex stainless steel GMT, you have the one with the GMT Master Bruce Wayne. That watch is like $10,000, $11,000, and you can probably sell it for 15, 14, 5, to a Muppet Boiler Room, and you can make some nice pocket money for the diapers of your children. You also have the Batgirl. The Batgirl too. There's money left, there in the bone. There's some money left in the bone there. You also have the Batman. There's some money left there too. So, you can, if they call you for the Batgirl, the Batman, there's, some money there. And the Bruce Wayne, there's some money there. Also the Sprite, the Sprite, the stainless steel Sprite with the Jubilee bracelet, with the green and black bezel. I call it the Heineken. Some people call it the Monster drink. That one has some meat left in the bone. So if they call you for those watches, there's meat left in the bone. You also have the Pepsi. If they call you for the Pepsi, if they call you for the oyster bracelet, there's a little meat there. But if they call you for the Jubilee bracelet, Pepsi, hay mucho dinero, hay pasta ahí. There's money there. There's money for you to take a vacation trip with your wife, to the jungle. Something like that, Believable but true, On the Rolex Daytona, well, you have the Panda stainless steel with the black ceramic bezel, the white dial, and you have also the Darth Vader. Luke, 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 Darth Vader, that has some meat left, and those are the older reference numbers, and you also have the new reference numbers. They have some nice meat left in the bone. This is what I believe from each of these models so far. You do whatever you want with your money. If they call you and you want to buy, a two-tone Daytona, knock yourself out, buy it. I'm only saying the ones that I believe that have a little meat left en el hueso. En el hueso. You understand me? You do whatever you want. On the Oyster Perpetual, well, those color dials, the color dials, the red coral dial, the money green dial, like that. Those dials have some, meat left in the bone. So if they call you for those watches, there's some money there you can make. On the 41 millimeter, on the 36 millimeter, all those colorful dials, that you can make some money, right? You can make some money. On a watch that I believe you can make a whole lot of money if you get a phone call, it is the Rolex Yachtmaster Titanium. They call you for that watch, it costs like somewhere $14,000-15,000, and you can sell it for like that for $20,000. You make some good money. You make some good cash. You know, you find a private, you can sell it then for 23, 24. You know, whatever these wishy-washy numbers that play with you guys, you know. And so that's a good watch. If they give you a call, you know, you can make some money in that watch. This is to all the flippers. They have been asking me which watches do I believe, you know. But eso es así, Damon. Eso es así. Es pana mío. Es pana mío. So así. And then on the Rolex date day, on the Rolex date day, you're going to be surprised what I'm going to say about the date day. You know, on the Rolex date day, you had that Rolex rose gold olive green dial. I mean, that watch, at one moment, that watch went all the way up to $95,000. And there was people they were making big money. This is the retail price of that Rolex date day with a green olive green dial is $46,300, right? And people were buying that watch and they were flipping and they were making 30, 35, $40,000, you know, for one hand to the other. They were making big money, mucho dinero, mucha pata, papi. Dinero con cojones. But I'm going to tell you that that watch right now is $46,300 plus your taxes. It's up there, you know, it's up there, $48,000, and you can buy that watch in the Muppet Boiler Room for, you know, man, you can buy that watch for a used slighted condition with all the bells and whistles for $41,000, you know, $42,000, you know. So I'm going to tell you, keep away from that watch because you're going to lose your rear end. You're going to lose it. Also, the white gold one with the olive green dial. This is the white gold with the olive green dial. These AD dealers are pushing that watch like it's a bad trip, you know. So keep away from those watches. The only watch that I'm gonna recommend that if they offer it to you, it is the Rolex date yellow gold with the crayon green dial. I repeat, not the olive green dial, crayon green. You know, Sweet Kikino was the one that named it crayon green dial, okay? You know, when you were in elementary school with the crayons, you know, the little crayons, it's like a little green box with orange or yellow on it, you know, had those colors. This is the crayon green dial, okay? So look into that watch. If they call you for that one, yes, you got some money left on that watch. You got some nice pocket money there, right? All right, so we got that one too, right? On the Rolex Sky Dweller, I mean, you guys are real smart. I don't even need to get into this, but I have to because the flippers wanted me to tell them, you know? If they call you for a Sky Dweller, anything that's two-tone, anything that's gold, rose gold, yellow gold, white gold, keep away from that. Keep away from that. Eso basura, papi. Eso no sirve. Eso no sirve. But if they call you for a Rolex Sky Dweller, you know, stainless steel with a blue dial, either if it's Oyster bracelet or Jubilee, buy it, papito. Rómpele el orto. Rómpele el orto. Le rompe, mira, el orto. El orto. Roto. Man, you buy it. Understand me? You buy that one. If they call you for the Jubilee one, you buy it too. You know, you buy it too. No problem. If they call you for a mint green one, stainless steel, you know, Jubilee Oyster, you know, green mint dial, you buy it too. You know? You buy that. You buy it. You can buy that. It's a good buy. So you know what to do with the Rolex Sky Dweller. If they call you for a Rolex Deep Sea Challenge Titanium 50 millimeter, buy it. Buy the watch. You can make some money in that watch. Okay? You heard me. The Rolex Deep Sea, the Sea Dweller, 50 millimeter, challenge, titanium. Buy it. If they call you for the Explorer, you know, the Explorer, you know, the 40 millimeter, 36 millimeter, two-tone, he dead. He dead. You understand that? He dead. Don't get involved in that. He dead. This is just for the flippers. If you like the watch, you buy it. But this is for the flippers. He dead. I know what I'm telling you. You do whatever you want. If they call you for the Rolex Explorer 2, you know, the one that comes with a black dial and one comes with a white dial and it has the orange hand, you know, the orange hand, he dead. You're going to buy that watch and you're just going to exchange money. You're going to exchange money. But I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, because some of you are dodo birds. Excuse me by me saying that to you. But I told you in some other videos that I've done that a lot of these Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channels, you know that most of these watches are dead in water. They're dogs with fleas. In the AD that works with them, you know, because these people grease up the AD, they grease them up. They know that those watches are not moving. They're already giving these people, hey man, take this Rolex Explorer 2 42 millimeter. I know there's no meat left in the bone, but we're gonna give you a 15% or 20% off. Take it. So to them, they can still sell you this watch and make some coins, right? But to the flippers, you're not gonna make it. But the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market dealers and channels, they're gonna make money. They're gonna make money. You understand me? They're gonna make money. But I'm gonna tell you to keep away from the 40 millimeter Explorer. No, I said it wrong. 42 millimeter. 42 millimeter Explorer. Black dial, white dial, orange hands. 42 millimeter. If you buy them, you're just gonna be changing money. You know? Maybe you're gonna even lose money after you pay taxes. I'm just letting you know what's going on. You do whatever you want. If you guys want to play around to make $100, $50, $150, and that's what you want to make, call you trabajo de papi. You know. I know what I'm trying to tell you. But you do whatever you want. I'm just trying to help you guys out. You do whatever you want. The Rolex Air King, dead. The Rolex Air King is dead. Don't, you know, if you like it to wear it, you buy it. An example, the Rolex Air King, when I have this in the watch market update. So I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give you this. The Rolex stainless steel Air King, 40 millimeter, reference number 126900, has a retail price of $7,550. Plus your taxes, it's gonna go up there to 8 beans, right? $8,000. You can buy that watch in the secondary gray watch market, and you can buy it for $7,200. All right? So don't get involved with that watch because you're gonna lose las nalgas. Van a perder las nalgas. All right? That watch is dead in water. Dead. You do whatever you want. And I have one more here. It is the Rolex stainless steel Milgauss. I mean, you can make a couple of $100, a couple $200, $250, but in reality, I say that watch is dead too. Dead. The Milgauss is dead. All right? So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know, to all you flippers out there, it's a dud. Exactly. It is a dud, Papa. It's a dud. That watch, don't get involved in that because you're going to lose. Te van a romper el orto, papi. No, tienen que parar de ser lambones. You cannot continue being Michiganers. You cannot. The only person in this right now, in this podcast, that knows what a Michiganer is Damon. Listen to Damon. Damon knows what a Michiganer. Damon, put there what a Michiganer means. Michiganer. Put it there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go now to the watch market update. Michiganer. You see that? Look at it. Read it. Read what Damon put there. He said Michiganer, Yiddish. Crazy, silly. You silly boys. Unbelievable, but you gotta, I'm telling you, Damon knows. But so do I, Ed. I'm showing you a word, Michiganer. People they think that's a bad word. That's not a bad word. It's a Yiddish, you know. You heard what Damon said. Anyway, guys, we're going to go now. Exactly. Google it if you don't understand what it is. Loco, crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely premium. We're gonna go in now to a watch market update because this is what you guys are always waiting for, and we're happy to give it to you, ladies and gentlemen. We are. We're happy to give it to you. Our first watch, I told you, was the Rolex stainless steel Air King, 40 millimeter. You know, the one with the crown guards. You know, has crown guards over here. You know, over here has crown guards. It's unbelievable. You know, it's a beautiful Air King. It's nice. You know, it's a retail price of 75.50, and I'm gonna tell you, don't pay more than, man, don't pay more than $7,200. You know, and I'm talking about a full set. If they don't give it to you full set, you don't even want it. You don't want to get this half-assed. You don't want to just get it with the watch and the car. You want to get it with all the bells and whistles for the price I told you. Okay? I mean that. Don't be, no sean retontos, no sean retontos. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been telling you that the watches will start dropping now. You know, in the second half of the month of February. You know, I told you that. I told you, listen and learn. This is the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Stainless Steel, the 4500V. Unbelievable. I have told you guys always that this is the most beautiful blue dial in the watch industry. Nobody can make a blue dial like Vacheron. Not Patek, not AP, and so on. Exacto. Eso es así. Aquí no hay sapo. Aquí no hay sapo. No pueden ser de sapo. No pueden seguir de sapo ustedes. No pueden seguir de sapo. And you know, thank you very much, Mr. Gary. Thank you. Mira, 10 pesos dio Gary también. Esto es increíble, Kino. Esta gente aquí te quiere mucho, Kino. You know, Kino is unbelievable this week, Kino. Thank you very much, Gary. Thank you so much, Gary. Thank you very much. The Vacheron Constantin Overseas. Unbelievable. The 4500V, like I told you, the most beautiful blue dial in the watch industry. To me, and to Sweet Kid Kino. ¿Verdad, Kino? Unbelievable, Sweet Kid Kino. You know, 41 millimeter. Retail price of this watch is $25,000. You know, now they have the overseas, they have the 4520. You know, this is the 4500. Now they have a new reference, 4520. This is the 4500. And the retail price of this watch is $25,000. I'm also going to tell you, we're talking about used slider condition material watches in this channel. Don't get that confused. Used slider condition material watches in this channel. Don't get it confused. Don't get it confused. $25,000 is the retail price plus your taxes. And we're going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. But don't pay for that. Vacheron Constantin Overseas 4500V Blue Dial. Don't pay more than $18,000 and you do whatever you want. I'm telling you, los precios se van a caer al piso. Esto se jodió, papi. Esto se jodió. These cockroaches, while me and Sweet Kid Kino around, they can't fleece you. They cannot fleece you. Ladies and gentlemen, the scouts on what I'm going to say now. These people would love to see Sweet Kid Kino go to the dark side. Me and Sweet Kid Kino have had some problems regarding that. Because Sweet Kid Kino says if they make him an offer he can't refuse, he will go to the dark side. But I won't. Tú sabes que yo no me voy a ir, papá. Yo no me voy a ir. Yo para ese lado no me voy, papi. No me voy. A mí no me hace falta. I don't need to go. I really don't need to go. I do this because I enjoy doing this. I really do. I have a lot of tension and stress in what I really do as my livelihood, and I do this to blow steam. But Sweet Kid Kino, he's sitting right here. He would like to jump the fence, but without me. They would like us to go to the dark side and say that the watch market is up and running. I'm just letting you know. I ain't frogging around. I'm for real. I didn't say a bad word. I said frog. I ain't frogging around. I'm for real. And pretty soon, we're going to be making the prune face dial watch. I'm telling you what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Don't pay more than $18,000 for that Vacheron Constantino overseas Blue Dial. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Our next watch is a Patek Philippe Complications Rose Gold, the 5235. You know, the regulator. Unbelievable. Annual calendar with a leather strap with a 40.5 millimeter casing. Unbelievable. Salud to you. Y respeto, Suzu. Respeto. Unbelievable, this watch. You know, this is an unbelievable, the 5235 regulator annual calendar with a leather strap with a 40.5 millimeter casing. Unbelievable time machine. This watch has a retail price of $61,390. Unbelievable. Complications. Unbelievable watch. And we're going to have to tell you the sad story, ladies and gentlemen. If you're banking on this watch, prepárense a perder las nalgas por ser lambones. Por ser lambones. Don't pay for that watch more. Don't pay. Anybody has an idea how much I'm going to say not to pay? No, right? Nobody. I'll give you a couple of seconds to warm it up there. I'll take a sip. You see that? You see that, Damon? This Mr. Premium is saying that he will pay I'm going to say don't pay more than $56,000. This is when I get uptight. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, quickly, don't pay for that Patek Complications Rose Gold 5235 regulator annual calendar. Don't pay more than $32,000 and do whatever you want. Premium, you do whatever you want. Pero la situación está jodida. Aquí no hay dinero, papi. Aquí no hay dinero. La situación está jodida. You gotta be careful. You cannot continue being lambón. This message is to you, Premium, because I have a lot of respect for you, Premium. Don't do it, papi. Don't give away. If you're gonna give money away, give it to the Humane Society. You know, give it to shelters, UNICEF, and dropping Ed. Absolutely, you know what I'm saying, Ed. And dropping. This watch is even dropping. This is an unbelievable. Listen, because it's dropping, it doesn't mean that it's not an unbelievable machine. This is an unbelievable, time machine. But this thing is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse, ladies and gentlemen. The watch market is dead in a backyard pool and floating face down like this. The watch market is dead in a backyard septic tank and smelly. I'm telling you, smelly. It's terrible, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I'm trying to tell you. Pero que esta gente no entiende. Me dijo premium $56,000. ¿Tan loco? ¿Tan loco? This is why I'm trying to tell you that some people don't know the numbers and they will give it away. They will give their children's tuition money away. You cannot continue being spoofballs. You cannot continue being dodo birds, window lickers, crayon eaters, tomato cans, palm olive dish lickers, crumb bums. You cannot continue. I know what I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Richard Mille, the RM030 titanium. Unbelievable looking time machine. This is a beautiful Richard Mille. It's an unbelievable titanium. I talked to you about this watch in white gold just a couple of days ago on Friday. This is the titanium. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. If you want to continue listening to the two brothers, from the night at the Roxbury, the ones from that company over there from California, Happy Feet, they hang around with the other guy, but with the man with the pink shirt, green pants, pointy shoes, and he has a toupee wig man toupee, It's unbelievable. He's worth like $400 million. He hangs out with those people, It's unbelievable. These people are terrible. These people are cretins. You know what the word cretin is? If you don't know what it is, ask Damon, ask Suzu. They'll tell you what it is. Because I'm not going to tell you, and neither is Sweet Kid Kino. Porque ustedes son lambones. Ustedes son lambones, papá. Lambones. I'm being honest. Or you got to do what Grande says. You need to Google it. Because I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Don't pay for that Richard Mille RM 030 titanium, 43 millimeter casing. Don't pay more. I mean, you do whatever you want, but don't pay more than $127,000. And watch market dead. Richard Mille watches are dead in water, ladies and gentlemen. Roto. Roto. You do whatever you want, but the watch market is dead. You do whatever you want. La situación está jodida. I'm telling you, I have a gentleman that he's famous. You can even ask Ed Blair. He'll tell you. His name is, I forgot his, Ed, what's his name? The guy that's using my my catchphrase. But he does it with an olive oil voice. Choppy, choppy, chop, chop. So I sounded just like him. He goes, choppy, choppy, choppy. That guy, you see him there? Right there. That guy there. Morgan. That Morgan Andrew. Unbelievable. That Morgan. I'm getting too carried away here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Sunday night. I'm getting carried away. But that guy's using, like that. Goes very, very olive oil voice. Chopping, chopping, chopping. It's nice. And I'm happy he's using that catchphrase, I'm happy. Our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel Yachtmaster. 40 millimeter. Unbelievable. Reference number 116622. The blue dial. This watch has a blue dial. This is, like if, like in the last 10 years, blue has been one of the most powerful dials you can put on a watch. You said you have a sky dwelling blue dial, they went nuts. You say I want a Patek with a blue dial, and they're going nuts. An AP with a blue dial, they go nuts. And so on and so on and so on. In this case, it's the Rolex Yachtmaster stainless steel with a blue dial. And this watch is an unbelievable looking time machine. The retail price of this watch is an older reference number, but it's the same BS, It's the same BS, guys. Don't, I'm not gonna hear me talking to you, trying to hoodwink you or flim flam you or spoof ball. It's the same BS. La misma mierda, La misma mierda con diferente peste. You know what that means? Repeat after me. La misma mierda con diferente peste. Does anybody know what I said? I'm not going to tell you. Okay, that's what I decir. Muy fuerte para ellos. So this Rolex stainless steel Yachtmaster with a blue dial, 40 millimeter, retail price $12,000. Reference number 116622. Don't pay for that watch more. Don't exactly. That's it, Abramus. That's it. Don't pay for that Yachtmaster. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want with your children's tuition money. You do whatever you want with your children's book fare money. And you do whatever you want with your children's lunch money. But don't pay for that Rolex Yachtmaster. Stainless steel with a blue dial. Use slider condition material. Está bien, grande, está bien. We have grande también wants to give money away too. He wants to give money away. Don't pay for that watch more than $9,400 in. Dumping! Dumping! I told you we're entering dark times. You're not listening to me. No me están escuchando, Guino, no me están escuchando. No le está entrando agua el coco. A ustedes no le está entrando agua al coco. Some of you are not listening, and water is not entering to the coconut. Water is not entering to the coconut. Hay que entrarle agua al coco, papi. La cabeza no es solamente para pelo. The head is not only for hair. The head is to think. Usted está de gilipollas y de sapo. You know what I'm saying, premium. You know what I'm saying. No puedo seguir en eso. Eso lo diría. Our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel Oyster Perpetual with a red coral dial. Red coral dial. I repeat. Remember, I told you the color dials. This is where the money is at, You get a phone call for that, you're going to make some money. And this is, again, a 36 millimeter, and the reference number of that watch is the 126000. Has a retail price of $6,200. $6,200. Unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, this watch went all the way up. All the way up. Man, it was disgusting. 17, 18, 19, 14, 5. It started going down like that. Flat line, everywhere. Unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want with that Rolex stainless steel. Oyster Perpetual, Red Coral Dial, 36 millimeter, reference number 126000. Anybody has a guess from that one? Nobody, huh? Nobody knows. Tenemos aquí machíganos. Tenemos aquí machíganos. Increíble. Don't pay more. And I mean, don't pay more. You do whatever you want. It's your money. And I understand that you guys have deep pockets. You're pretty close. You guys got deep pockets. But don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more. Don't pay more than $10,900. And done. Okay? You got it. There it is. You do whatever you want. You got the number. You got the number. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about the Tudor. And I was watching like 3 different auctions going on in 3 different platforms. I'm all over the place. Like watching the stocks, just watching everything. And one of them pulled the watch out because he wasn't getting what he was expecting to get, a flim flammer, And then we had another one that was putting, he was spoofing. Spoofing is a real word, ladies and gentlemen. So spoofing is a real term word. Mr. Ed Blair and Damon, explain to them, please, what the word, you know that I don't know how to explain too many things. I know what they mean, but I don't know how to explain it quite well. But spoofing is a way that they hype up prices, make believe, And they were hyping up the price of the watch, but it was between them. So, you can spoof all you want, but it's not moving, Exactly. You heard that? I want to fool you. I want to fool you, I want to flim flam you. They want to hoodwink you, Spoofing is, you heard what Zuzu, that's Zuzu something unbelievable. He said, spoofing my balls. Ese es justo el diablo, Kino, el diablo. Es disfrazado del diablo, güey. Ese muchacho spoof no cree nadie. So, ladies and gentlemen, they were playing with that, the numbers, like Damon told you, they're just, they want to get you taken, as weasels. So one had this, and then the other one was stuck. You're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. Was stuck at a price. Yes, sir, Zuzu. They were stuck at a price of $11,500. And I had to come here to do our watch market update, to you guys that I care for you guys. And I stopped watching it, and I left it at $11,500. I left it $11,500. We're talking about a watch. This is the Flamingo Chrono, Black Bay Chrono. Reference number M79360N/0024. This watch has a retail price, ladies and gentlemen. Retail price of $5,875. 41 millimeter, stainless steel. Beautiful. That dial is really, really beautiful, Very, very nice. But I see the same thing that happened to the, Miss Piggy Chrono Black Bay. It's going to happen to this watch too. It's just going to die and, flatline. And I told you guys last time I put a number for you guys, what I believe you should pay for that Black Bay Flamingo. I said $14,000. And like I'm telling you, I saw with like 10 minutes left in the auction, the watch wasn't moving from $11,500. And I'm gonna dare to tell you guys, so you guys won't get flim flammed and fleeced, so you can pass the ball around and tell all your friends what Mr. Nieves is telling you. I said it wrong. What Sweet Kid Kino told me, and I'm telling you. Joaquin to you, Kino to me. Don't get that confused. She doesn't want you to call him Kino if you don't know him in a friendly basis way. And I'm going to tell you today, I'm going to dare to tell you myself today, don't pay for that Black Bay, Chrono, Flamingo, Tudor. Don't pay more. I'm going to dare myself to say this. If I'm scared, I might say too much. Don't pay more. Don't pay more than $13,000. All right, guys? Don't pay more than $13,000. And that watch is dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Wicked, you got to stop giving your money away. You got to stop it. You cannot continue doing that. You're going to learn here. You will learn. Don't do it. That watch is dead in water. Dead in water. Our next watch is an unbelievable watch. It is the Rolex Stainless Steel Oyster Perpetual Green Dial 41 millimeter. Reference number 124300. This has a retail price of $6,500. But the scary thing about this watch is, ladies and gentlemen, this watch at one moment went all the way up, like the song, all the way up to $20,000, $23,000, $25,000. You know, it had that pimp green dial, money green dial, and people were going bananas with this watch. Bananas. And the retail price, like I'm telling you, is $6,500. And I'm gonna have to tell you, you do whatever you want with your children's tuition money, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch. That's right, the color of money. Don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch more than $8,300 and it dead. You do whatever you want. You see, that watch there used to have a lot of, moo, the cow. It had a lot of cow meat. Now it just has a little meat left in the bone. Okay? Be smart. Be careful. Be careful. And we're talking about used slider condition material watches in this channel. Don't get that confused. Our next watch is an unbelievable watch because me, myself, I like this watch very much. I do like a lot the color white gold. I do like it a lot. Very, very much. We're going to be talking about the Rolex white gold date meteorite dial. With a diamond dial, unbelievable. White gold with the meteorite and the markers with little baguettes and diamonds. This watch is an unbelievable watch, it's unbelievable. It's a 40 millimeter, reference number 228239. Retail price of that watch is $55,500. And at one moment, that watch was all the way up, man, all the way up to $95,000. It's true, all the way up, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the flim flam. You know it, Ed. You know it. Wow, Kevin is saying 35. Okay, Kevin. 35,000. Nice. And this watch, like I said again, it was for big ballers. You know what a baller is? A baller, Kino showed me that word. Kino, tú pensaste la palabra esa. Guys, for real. Kino, Kino, he comes from a world that is dangerous, Anyway, let's continue with this. The Rolex white gold. Kevin is a big baller. Okay. So this That's right. That's right, Kevin. That's right. A little bone. So this watch, it was like $95,000. Unbelievable. White gold, a meteorite diamond dial. Unbelievable, And it was $55,500 a retail price. And I'm going to have to give you the good news and the sad news. Don't pay for that Rolex date, white gold meteorite dial, diamond dial. Don't pay more. I mean, you do whatever you want, but don't pay more than $51,000. And bang! We're talking about a used slider condition material watch from the year 2022. How's that? Okay, we're in 2025. This is from 2022. So use. It's been banged around already. Be careful. Be careful out there. You do whatever you want. Prices are dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. The watch market is dead in a backyard pool, ladies and gentlemen, like this. Dead. Dead. I know what I'm telling you. I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. Another watch that you guys gotta be very careful with the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak stainless steel 15510 50th anniversary. People went bananas with the 50th anniversary watch. Parecían locas preñadas. ¿Tú sabes lo que significa preñado? Parecían unas locas enfermas preñadas. I'm not going to tell you what the word preñada is. You Google it. I'm not going to tell you. Preñada. In this watch, people were making crazy lines. They were making real big long lines of window lickers, lollipop suckers, crayon eaters, tomato cans, Palmolive dish lickers, crumb bums. They were all there, ready to give it all away. That watch, this is the white dial, not even this is a white dial, not a blue one. If it's a blue one, forget it. It was a monster, Window lickers, you know it, Zuzu, you know it. Believable. And this watch, was at $75,000 because in the rotor, the rotor that goes around, in the back of the watch, the rotor, it said their 50th anniversary, on this AP stainless steel white dial, 15510 steel white dial, and it went all the way up to $75,000. $75,000. We're talking about a watch, ladies and gentlemen, that the retail price of that watch is $28,600. But you had to be somebody to, you had to grease somebody. If you grease somebody, you were going to get that watch, Because that watch, all these, hoodwinks, totas cucarachas, all these cockroaches, all these ticks, all these fleas, they made money on that watch, if you wouldn't believe it, because it had the 50th anniversary rotor on it. And the retail price is $28,600. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to tell you the honest truth. Don't pay for that watch more than $35,000. And you do whatever you want. Do whatever you want with your children's tuition money. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. If you want to continue picking on your 401k, that's up to you. If you want to continue picking, picking on your 401k to keep on maintaining these Muppet boiler room secondary gray watch market dealers lifestyle, that's up to you. We say 401k here. We are, come on guys, explain to them, Damon, explain to them, Ed, how I talk, we say 401k and that's it, That's all. If you want to hear good, good vocabulary, you go to Deputy Droopy Boxing Black Eyes channel, and you'll get there some good grammar. Not here. You're gonna get here lambones. Ustedes son unos lambones. Lambones. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Damon. Thank you. And I want you to know this. I'm in character. Damon, they really think I speak like this on a daily basis. They think I speak like this on a daily basis. Es que son lambones. Kino, son gilipollas, son lambones. Don't pay for that AP Royal Oak stainless steel 15510 white dial 41 millimeter 50th anniversary retail price $28,600. Don't pay more. I already told you the price. I'm not going to tell you no more. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel Datejust. This is the only thing that's left in the Datejust, models from Datejust that's worth something, We're going to be talking about a Wimbledon, with a smooth Jubilee, this smooth bezel and a Jubilee, reference number 126300. The new, it even has the new style box to fleece you and flim flam you. the new style box. It's the modern old money watch. Modern old. Wimbledon. You know what I'm saying, right, Zuzu? You know what I mean, right? Unbelievable, that watch. Unbelievable. And this is a 41 millimeter, ladies and gentlemen. It's fully stainless steel with a nice style with a Jubilee, and the marker and number 3. It has a little white marker, like a tennis ball, there, okay. And this watch, the retail price of this watch is $8,400. And ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that beautiful Rolex stainless steel Datejust 41 millimeter Wimbledon with a smooth bezel, Jubilee bracelet. Don't pay more. You do whatever you want, but don't pay more than $9,600 and bam! Do whatever you want. Okay, do whatever you want. Our next watch is the Rolex stainless steel Sky Dweller, white dial, 42 millimeter. This is the Oyster bracelet. Oyster bracelet. Not the Jubilee, but the Oyster bracelet. Reference number 326934. That's right. 326934. This watch has a retail price of $15,650. And ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but you're going to have to pay for that watch even money. You're going to change money here. Just change money. Don't pay more than $15,500 and done. Do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rolex, this is our last watch of the night. Our Rolex Rose Gold date olive green dial, 40 millimeter. Reference number 228235 with a retail price of $46,300. This watch, at one moment, people really were making powerful lines to get this watch. People were even saying, listen, just source me the watch. Source. You know what the word source is? Not sauce. Source. Source me the watch. I'm gonna wire you the money. And when you get the watch, just send it to me. That's how desperate people were for this watch. I'm not bullshitting you guys. This is for real now. I'm gonna come out of character. People will say, hey man, I'll send you the money. Te mando la pata. I'll send you the money and give me this watch. I want this watch. And they were paying for that watch. No bullshit. They were paying for that watch between $89,000 to $95,000. And people were just pushing the button, send the money, send the money, send the money. I mean, so many people got heartbroken buying that watch. And I tell you, at that time, it wasn't $46,300. It was less than that. It was a couple of G's less than that. You know what a couple of G's is? Google it. I'm not going to tell you. And that watch, today I'm going to tell you, if you're going to there buy it, don't pay more. Don't pay more than $43,000 in dropping it. I'm talking about a full set. If they don't give it to you full set, you don't want it. It's going to be a used slider condition material watch, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our watch market update for you guys. That's right, and always pay wire with American Express. Don't wire from your bank. Once that wire goes in there, you cannot claim nothing no more. But if you have and you're protected by American Express, pretty soon we're going to be sponsored by American Express. No lie. No lie. But really, do yourself a favor and pay whatever you have to pay and wire with a very strong bone credit card, right? So you guys won't get taken. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this watch market update. You learned something from Deputy Droopy Boxing Black Eyes. I hope you learned something from the watches that I believe that have some meat left on the bone. So you guys, the guys that are still flipping and buying whatever, don't get hurt. Listen, don't get hurt out there, and don't be using your mother and father's credit card to buy watches. It's not a good thing, man. You're gonna te va a ahorcar. You're gonna hang yourself. It's not a good time to be playing around with that. I already tell you the watches that I believe they have some strong meat left on the bone. The rest is Michigan. You gotta be a Michiganer to buy that. Anyway, guys, we also have a private watch group. It's under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves. Scroll down in Facebook under Opus in Time. Requested, and maybe Sweet Kid Kino to me, Joaquin to you, might let you in, or maybe Samantha. Anyway, guys, like we say always, take care and brush your hair. Good night, guys. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Thank you very, very, very much for all your help. It really does make us happy, and we just continue to keep on acting, bananas. You ever saw the show The Banana Splits when you were younger? Anybody remember the Banana Splits? It was like these bears, like they were like playing guitar, down, 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 down. The Banana Splits. Nobody knows who they are. We got too many young kids here. Too many young kids. Peace.